Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the place where you learn new skill every time you visit. So keep updating yourself by subscribing to the channel.
Today we are going to discuss how to find the maximum and minimum in an array. We'll use Visual Basic to compile the codes. So we are using Visual Basic as a tool to understand the steps which we are going to do to find the maximum and minimum in an array. Now the steps or algorithm which we are going to follow are: first you have to input the array of course, then you have to assume that the first element of the array to be maximum. So let's suppose assume that we have taken a variable max declared as integer or a double tip or a string. It depends on what kind of array, what data type of the array is, and then you store the first element into that. All right. Now after that, the second step is going to be you need to traverse the array. You need to traverse means traveling through the array or accessing every element of the array. So when you traverse to the array and check each element in case any other element, because when you talk about general term in an array, it is array I. So you need to check if any of the element of the array is more than max. If it happens to be more than max, then what you will do, you will just store that element which happens to be maximum. Suppose this is maximum, you store that element into the variable max, okay, by these steps. And then similarly you go ahead. If the next element is not more than the max, then it's fine, you go ahead. But in case the next element is more than max, you have to store that in a variable max, and this way you have to continue till the end of the array. So when the end of the array is reached, or when the loop ends, you just have to print the maximum element as max. All right, that's very simple steps. So now let's see that practically. Let's see in Visual Basic directly how it works. So I'll switch over to the Visual Basic. And I already designed a form where I'm asking for 10 numbers to be input, right? I'm assuming those to be marks, and then I'll do the other part. So I need to code this particular button so that as soon as I press this, the coding will happen. So here already I have a code written, but I'll just change it and try to write it in front of you so that you understand every step of it. So now I'll go by the steps. So the first step was to store the array, and before that we need to declare the array, of course. So I'll take marks 10 as integer. Then, as I told you in the steps of algorithm, that you have to assume the marks to be, you need a variable for assuming that the first element is maximum or minimum in that case. So I'm taking a variable max. Now first I'll take the input from the user, so I need to run a loop till 10, right? And in that loop, what I need to do, I need to put a general statement so that every element of the from the text boxes come through this. So we have already discussed in the previous videos that how that happens. So the array name is marks, so I'll do marks of I equals to text1 of I minus 1. That's the way it picks the element from the text boxes, because the text boxes number starts from 0 and the array starts from 1. So that's why the difference is of I minus 1 here. Now after taking the input, what I need to do, I have to assume that the first element is maximum. That's only an assumption, right? So what I'll do, I'll say max equals to marks 1 to 10. All right. Even in case you run it from 1 to 10, that's not going to make any difference, because even if you compare the element with the same element, it is not going to be maximum. All right. So either 1 or 2, both are fine for the output, but logically it should be 2 to 10. Now what are you doing in this loop? In this loop, you are just simply checking out if any other element, which is marks of I, is more than max. If it happens to be more than max, then what will happen? The max is going to store that element. That's it. And if any other element, the remaining element, if any other element happens to be less than marks I, that's fine, no problem, it will continue. So at the end of the loop, when the loop ends, we just have to print the value of the variable max, stating that it's the maximum. So list1 dot, either you can print or you can use list1 dot add item, the maximum marks is ampersand max. Alright, let's run this and see. So when I run this, it asks me 10 marks. So I'll just randomly give 10 marks. All the marks are out of 100. So when you click at the calculate, you'll see it gives you the maximum marks as 98. Right? Now, how will you do the other part of it? Means the minimum part. So the only difference will be you need to change the variable to min, and then you assume min as the first element. Do not assume the last element to be minimum, because it's the opposite of max. No. Only every time whether max or min, first element is assumed, and then the loop will go from 2 to 10. This time you will compare if any other element is less than min. If any other element happens to be less than min, then min is going to store that element. And similarly, when you end the loop, after next I, we are printing that the minimum element is min. So instead of maximum, I'll change it to minimum, and let's run it. So here it goes, and randomly I'll give few marks out of 100, and then it should tell me the minimum marks. So it says the minimum marks is 23, which it is. Alright, I hope you have understood this concept. In case you have a doubt, mail me, comment me, I'll get back to with more videos to clear your doubts. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Bye bye, take care.
If you are new to the channel, please subscribe it. Also press the bell notification so that you get notification as soon as I release a new video. Share and like the video.